What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Icing the Puck. It's off-season, baby, and we told you we're coming at you with some fun episodes. We have some really fun stuff in store for y'all today. We're going to cover some news, then we're going to get straight into the ITP Awards second edition. For those back in 2023 that remember the first edition, got a little out of hand.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, we've changed the awards a little bit. Definitely more serious this year. I think we covered it in like 10 minutes last year. This will be a longer segment, but
yeah, we were focused on the food first and then everything else. It's like, yeah, it was like a side part of our.
We ate Jew Boy sliders that episode. Remember that place?
Dude, yeah, I remember. It's still one of the best rated places in Austin.
It's a big deal here, man. A lot of people love eating there. If y'all visit, go eat at Jew Boy. It's pretty good. Burgers, burritos.
Apparently they have really good burritos.
Yeah, they put fries in them and stuff. They got hot dogs, milkshakes. It's a good spot. Y'all should check it out. It's like they do like New York, like Jewish food with like Mexican. It's like a fusion type of
fusion.
Deal.
It's all over the place, but I remember that place. It was pretty good. We drove forever to get it though.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it took we should 30 minutes.
Yeah, we should have recorded like the food part of it like in the car. That would have been the move. But
maybe we do something like that. I don't know if we're bored enough. We'll see. I don't know. We're not a food podcast anymore. Maybe we transition back into that world. But Jordan, how you been, man? You been good?
I've been good. I mean, it hasn't been very long since we
couple
days. Yeah, we're talking. I mean, putting out some more episodes, so it's been good. Working.
Yeah, same. Working, school. I'm in school right now. But I've been enjoying, some time at home, watching a little bit of that MLB All-Star game the other night, home run derby. I'm a big baseball guy. As you can see, I got
you're rocking the Texas Rangers.
My deep pool Texas Rangers hockey jersey. Shout out to the guy who made this. This is custom made on Mercari. Sick stuff. So
yeah. That's a good jersey. I like that jersey a lot. I, for some reason, always think about it being red and not white, but every time I think about it.
I don't give this one enough love. I feel like I don't wear this one that often. It's one of my cooler ones, but yeah. I enjoy this. I like the, speaking of fusions, I like it when other sports make hockey jerseys or like baseball, like opposite jersey of the sport that they play. I like stuff like that.
We talked about it on the last episode, I think, with the fan contest and like designing jerseys and stuff like that. Dude, I'll say it every time and I will die on this hill. I want Denver sports crossover jerseys, dude. I want them.
Would go hard.
Like a Broncos abs would be awesome.
Yeah. That'd be sick, like a warm-up jersey representing the Broncos or something. Dude, that'd be pretty cool.
The colors and everything, the orange, dude. It'd be sick.
The Stars and Rangers actually, like Dallas sports do a lot of mashups together. Like there's a hockey jersey that I saw that's essentially like this, but the Stars did it back in 2022, and it's when they're midnight jerseys with the Texas with the D in it. Mm-hmm. It's like red, white, and blue like this, but it has that logo right here, and it has the Dallas D on the side. They did that. I remember the Texas Rangers actually copied the Stars' midnight jersey, but on their baseball jerseys for a warm-up one time. There's been a bunch of mashups with the teams in Dallas before, but yeah, it's been cool. But yeah, let's get into it, man. We got some news to cover, a couple things here. Let's go start with Trevor Zegras. Gets extended by the Flyers. The Flyers miss out on Leo Carlsson, but they lock up their guy Zegras, the other former Duck. They get him on a 4-year deal, $9.125 million a year. Your thoughts on the deal? Go ahead, hit me with it.
It's a pretty good deal, in my opinion, especially since I think Zegras has improved, or at least kind of getting back into form after getting traded by the Ducks and going over to the Flyers. He got traded, or did he sign with them?
It
was a trade.
I think he got traded. It was the last year of his deal.
Yeah,
he got traded over there.
So, I mean, he's kind of, getting back into it, and I really like him for them. I mean, like, he's a good young player, but has some experience in the league, and I mean, he just looks good on the team. He's, like I said, he's just been, the chemistry there has been really good, and like I said, getting back to form is the best way to say it, and I think it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, I agree. I think Zegras and the Ducks just never worked from the start. Another really hyped up prospect coming onto a team that had been rebuilding for a long time. I mean, honestly, a team that for a long time had success. Anaheim was a very successful team for, 15 years, and then they kind of started this new era with Zegras and Troy Terry and a couple other faces, whatever. It just didn't work out too well. Comes to Philadelphia, I really thought his game was just more molded into a different form. He played a little bit of defense. He hits people. Never hit
Yeah.
people in Anaheim.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
think
know?
definitely the coaching change and, kind of the play style changed for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Bought into a system that he really didn't have in Anaheim. Anaheim, for a while was playing, in my opinion, some pretty boy hockey until recently. And that caused a lot of people, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people really hated Trevor Zegras, especially with the whole NHL cover a couple years ago and whatever. I feel like going to Philadelphia, Philadelphia is a big sports market. It's not really the biggest hockey market. So it kind of took him out of the spotlight a little bit, allowed him to focus on his game. And, as you get older, you mature and you learn more things.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, he's out of the California spotlight, all these California teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just the celebrity culture there, it just draws everybody in regardless of what, even it being hockey, it's like.
Yeah. And the number on the deal, like his AAV, I love it. I mean, the cap, we talk about it every episode, it's only going up. Players are getting overpaid like crazy. And this is exactly what Zegras deserves. I mean, for a guy that I think could easily give you 70 points a year, if he really tries, maybe more on a good year. Yeah, he's solid, and he's, brought their offense and power play to life. So congrats, Trevor Zegras. I mean, I've become a fan of you after being a hater of you for so many years. I love to see it. And
isn't he on the cover of the NHL that you play all the time?
No, that's Austin Matthews.
Oh, okay.
Do we need to get into this? We haven't really talked about this. Yeah, I'd be glad to talk about this.
What, that you're living in the past?
I have a long-running NHL 22 Be a Pro as a right defenseman who is now in his 23rd season. You could play 25. I have been playing since the game came out.
Yeah.
And I haven't bought the new game because I have to finish. His name is Trent Foxford. I have to finish Trent's career. Okay, he deserves it from me. I deserve it from him. We've had a great time together.
Yeah,
so.
Well, now is the time to wrap it up and move on, because the new game, and we talked about it earlier today, the new game and all the online franchise mode coming in.
Maybe we put out a little bit of Icing the Puck gaming content, a little gaming content on the
Maybe everybody can watch how bad I am.
Yeah, I'm pretty slick with it, dude. I'm pretty good at those games.
Can watch us play as not defensive defensemen. Just
joining the rush every second we get. Honestly, though, remember when we used to play with Sam and Taylor years ago, and Jordan actually would play pretty solid defense, and he would keep our back end safe, and I'd be like, Sam, I'm on the rush, get the puck to me. But
that was back when I would play it all the time. So it's
yeah,
you know how I am. It's I don't pick a game up for a week and I forget all the controls. So
that's true. Yeah, you are kind of weird with that.
I don't know, dude. It's just one of those things that just doesn't stick in my brain for some reason.
Jordan's always let me get the controls really quick. Whenever we play Madden, especially, sometimes we'll get back to Madden once every 2 years. Yeah, that's fun times. More news. Speaking of Trent Foxford, longtime Detroit Red Wing. Let's get to the Red Wings. Steve Yzerman has stepped down as the GM of the Detroit Red Wings after...
Stepped down.
Yeah, stepped down. After, I believe, 10 years now. What? Maybe a little less? Maybe a little more?
I don't remember exactly, but I mean, it's been a pretty,
it's been a long time. It's been a long time. And obviously, Red Wings fans know all too well, it's been a disaster. I was looking at some of the trades he's made today. I mean, the most recent being the Justin Falk trade this year when they were a good amount of, maybe 3 or 4 games out of the playoffs. They trade a first-round pick away for, 30-something-year-old Justin Falk. And we're not hating Justin Falk. He's a good player, but, come on, man. The team needs a lot more. Team needs a lot more, And, then we have, of course, the Dylan Larkin situation now. And now it's coming out that, Larkin and Yzerman have been at odds since 2018, since Henrik Zetterberg retired, and he didn't get the C immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been bad. You have a bunch of bad signings. The list goes on and on and on. Apparently, he's going to be in an advisory role now. I mean, I think they're just saving face a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of just keeping him on so he gets a paycheck, and then...
Yeah.
So.
Means a lot to the organization as a player. Obviously, won multiple Stanley Cups with them, was their captain. But sometimes you're just not good at new roles. He killed it when he was Tampa's GM, kind of built that team that we see now. It, once again, just hasn't worked out in Detroit. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, if you can look at Yzerman's history yourself and see how bad it's been. I mean, the free agent signings have been horrendous, to say the least.
I mean, consider the fact that you can't really remember any of them, like, says a lot about...
The one I remember that comes to mind that's so bad is JT Compher, 5 years, $5 million.
Yeah.
I love our boy JT Compher, especially. I know you do special place in your heart for JT Compher, but definitely a player that needs a good fit, and it was not that in Detroit. So, yeah.
Yep. I mean, he had like a couple good seasons, won a cup with Colorado, and then it's like, I'm going to go get paid, and got paid probably a little more than he should have, just, because they wanted
to
somebody.
Be a
and
fourth line center, third or fourth line center.
Basically, yeah. So,
that's
I mean,
rough.
But honestly, that's it's like a good contract by today's standards, basically.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nothing. I mean, he brought in, just tried to bring in a couple veterans like Kane and DeBrincat lately. But, Detroit is in shambles. I'm intrigued to see who they get as their next GM. And if they could turn things around and maybe make the playoffs in the next couple seasons. Definitely don't see it happening this year. It's already been reported Patrick Kane is not re-signing with them. So, any hopes for them is probably quickly fading away.
Yeah, I mean, unless they have some like monster like free agencies or trades or something like that. Or not
pretty much all over.
Yeah, like trade deadline stuff. Yeah.
Dog's
she's breaking in again.
Yeah. My dog hates it when I record. Yeah, and then the next piece of news we have, what is the next one? Anything else? Is that pretty much it? Gotta talk about the Ducks a little more. Gotta talk about the Ducks. Yeah, Cutter Gauthier is demanding $18 million.
Rumored. He has never said anything. It's never been public. It's just like rumored.
Yes, thank you for specifying that. Get ahead of myself a little bit. But yeah, because of the Leo Carlsson thing, it is rumored that Cutter Gauthier won't take anything less than $18 million, and that would surely put the Ducks in cap prison for the next 10 years.
That would be like over a third of their cap tied up in 2 players. It's like...
rough.
Yeah,
rough. How are they ever going to build a defense? The defense is torn apart after they lost a lot of these guys, but they lost a lot of defensemen, dude. They lost Trouba and Gudis, which is like whatever. They lose Zellweger. They trade him to the Sabres, So now they're kind of left with like Mitnyakov, Lacombe, which good
not
by
bad,
all means.
But...
I can't complain about that. But then
not like what you would expect a playoff or cup winning team to look like.
Did they miss the playoffs this year?
I mean, they were kind of, because of their division, they were in it this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, if the Pacific is, more competitive this year, and not more competitive, but like, more competitive.
If it's a little stronger as well on the top end, like, I don't know. I just don't see them being on the top end this year. Like, they're going to be fighting for a spot. Like, Troy Terry is out for 6 months or something like that.
Who else is going to be from the Pacific, Like
Vegas, we already know they're in the mix. Edmonton, we already know that they built a good team. Is this San Jose's turn?
Could be. They're the ones that I would, keep an eye on.
Yeah. But... yeah. LA, are the Kings in the mix? No.
I mean, they made it this year somehow.
They make it every year somehow. I don't know if they claw their way into a wild card every year, but no Kopitar and retirement home going on there. But yeah, the Ducks, I mean, if they give Gauthier $18 million, first of all, if you don't re-sign your top goal scorer, it's a little bit like a Jason Robertson situation on a lower scale. On a lower scale, you know. But I mean, hey, what? Little swap Gauthier for Robo? Little swap going on?
Yeah.
Both of them take, what they actually deserve.
Yeah.
Robo's from Anaheim.
Is he?
He is. Yeah, he's from Anaheim adjacent area.
Yeah.
I mean, Gauthier might like Dallas. He'd look good in a Dallas jersey. Nice sweater. But I don't know. I'd rather have Robo, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
I'm still really curious to see how that whole situation plays out. That'll be an interesting one.
He's gonna get a fair shake out of arbitration, and he's gonna know what he's really worth. We're gonna lock him up.
He's gonna see that number, and then he's gonna be like, okay, guys, I'll take 14. Like,
be perfectly okay with 14.
He's gonna see the arbitration that comes back with like
10.5.
Yeah, like 10.5, 11, and he's like, okay, guys, maybe I was a little
13.5.
Maybe 13. Yeah, 13.5, 14 is not bad.
I'll take it. I'll take that any day. That's a home run. That's a home run derby win to go with this week's theme.
See that kid jump up and like snag that ball in the home run derby?
No,
That was
I
crazy.
didn't see
It was
that.
pretty impressive, actually. Yeah, he like stole a home run basically.
That's
I don't
sick.
know. It was pretty impressive. It was a pretty good jump and caught the right before it went over the wall. I forget who was batting though,
That's
but
sick.
it was yeah.
Should we start a baseball podcast too? You know, a double
No,
feature?
no, we don't need more on top of that.
We don't pay attention enough.
Then it's gonna turn into
Icing the
what
Puck
was-
Sports.
I was gonna say what's the other one that you did before, dude?
Full on pod. Bro?
Full on
Yeah.
pod, dude.
Shout out.
Callback.
Yeah, throwback right there. Full on
Yeah.
pod. That was I had a different partner back in those days, you know. It wasn't
that
Jordan. Wasn't
Yeah.
Jordan.
That was your first iteration of podcasting.
It was no, actually that's my second.
Second.
I had a show, it was called Full On Records, and
I
I
forgot. Yeah,
reviewed
dude.
metal and country records. Big music guy, if the audience doesn't know. I'm a big country music guy, big jazz, big blues guy. The metal is kind of sidelined now, you know, but yeah, different days, different times, you know, but here we
Hey,
are.
dude.
Hockey's
Hey,
number
yeah.
one.
This is where we're at.
Hockey's king.
Icing the puck.
Icing the puck. It's been great. Well, we used to be a food podcast, as we said.
You know, I don't know if we ever actually kind of off topic again. We never actually explained it because we talked about NHL, like Chell and stuff like that. And the reason that the name of our podcast came about was kind of two things. It was kind of a play on like icing and like sweets because you were doing like
Yeah.
a food podcast.
Yeah, and we indulged in the sweets hard.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
yeah.
And
Still
then
do, still do.
the other part of it, the icing the puck. The reason that we say icing the puck is because for some reason my favorite thing to do while playing
chill.
is ice the puck.
Yeah. It was like a running joke, like a meme
Yeah.
for the longest time.
Yeah.
And the
It's
thing
just like-
behind
it
that
just-
is we all used to, like, me, Jordan, and a couple friends. This is like years and years ago when we were young bucks. I mean, we'd get together, you know, enjoy copious amounts of food and just play Chell for like 6 hours in either my apartment or Jordan's apartment. We used to live like across from each other, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy times.
Yeah.
Crazy
That's
times.
funny. I can't believe I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
No,
why
we
it's
haven't
called
talked about
that,
the origin. No, yeah,
But
yeah. He would
it's-
launch that sucker every chance he
Yeah.
got, man. Didn't
And
know how to
it's-
pass.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just like, I'm just gonna do it kind of thing. It wasn't even
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, I don't know. I just kind of felt like doing it.
You
I
would
don't know,
ice the
just-
puck. I had a problem, man. They would send it back to me. They'd be like, set the play up, slap shot from the point, bro, every time. I
Yeah.
was basically Bouchard. That's kind of the way I
Yeah.
played, actually.
Yeah.
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 That's why I like him so much.
Jumping up into the offense and turning the puck over.
That's enough. All right. It's
Time for some awards.
Time for the grand finale, what everybody's been waiting for. The second annual, 3 years later, Icing the Puck Awards. Yeah. Paying homage to last time I did that. We should add, and last time I said we should add a sound effect. This time we should actually add the sound effect. But yeah, we got a couple awards for y'all. We kind of shaped these in the way that the NHL shapes their awards, with a little bit of the ITP flair thrown in there. Names are created by yours truly. Got a little crazy with it. But yeah, we got some fun ones here, and it's going to get crazy towards the end because I have 2 surprise awards that I'm putting Jordan on the spot with. He has 2 surprise awards that he's putting me on the spot with. We just got to name the players, man. But yeah, we're just having fun with this. Full context here. We're having fun. This is like, maybe a few of them are serious, but this is just a play on it. So
Yeah, it comes from a place of seriousness, but also just kind of like just for fun.
yeah, and I have stats written down for like the ones that need the stats, you know, who I think deserve some recognition, but some of these are just like off the rip. So we're going to go with it here, man. We're going to start big. We're hitting y'all with the Eagle Award. This is our league MVP, our version of the Hart Trophy, so get used to it, the Eagle. All right, Jordan, I'm going to go ahead and let you hit us first with your Eagle of the year.
Yeah, my pick for the Eagle. You know, funny enough, it's actually similar to what I said, if you remember, my pick for someone who should have been nominated for MVP in the, regular season, this year. I went with Macklin Celebrini.
Wow. Love it. Love
Yeah.
it.
because people misunderstand the MVP title in, the Hart Trophy and stuff like that. The most valuable player is not the best player in the league. They're the most valuable to their team, and he has done more for his team in his short time with them, both play, recognition, just overall like culture change. MVP in my books.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, he was close to being my Eagle, but everybody knows that I'm a little bit of a status quo guy when it comes to the NHL. And I love to give guys even more praise. I love to buy them flowers more than the league already does. Oh, Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid had 138 points this year, and I feel like he's one of the few people who gets over 100 points that people just, I feel like he was like underappreciated this season. Like actually, like and I feel bad for McDavid because he is far in between a top 2 player in the league. I won't give him the number 1 because we're not going to get in that debate tonight. But yeah, I mean, this guy is just like, he's simply the best, man. And like this year, I get it. Kucherov is nuts. He won the Hart Trophy. But like Connor McDavid is far in between the most valuable player to the Oilers compared to every other team in the league with their most valuable player other than Macklin Celebrini, like you just said. Because he's made waves for a city that didn't have hockey for a long time.
Yeah.
At least good hockey.
Either.
Yeah. But yeah.
The reasoning is solid, and the reason behind your pick is way better than the regular MVP trophy.
Yeah, and what I was saying, I didn't get to finish what I was saying. I feel like McDavid is either overhyped or just underappreciated. I feel like he's never just given the accolade of being the best player. And that kind of sucks for him. I feel like, but that's what happens when you're a superstar. So
yeah, I was gonna say the reason is because he set like a high standard for his overall performance early on that, if he's not like blowing it out of the water, it's not noticeable because it's just like, oh, that's just McDavid. That's just like the normal.
Yep.
So yeah. Suffering from success almost.
A lot of these
Only
guys
he had
get
some cups.
True. I feel like a lot of the haters would be silenced. But yeah, that's the Eagle Award. Love picking the league MVP. The next award we have is the Moose Award, and it's not related to Mikko Rantanen. But it is our best defensive defenseman. When I think of animals, I think of a stout moose in the middle of the road, defending its territory, man. So that's why I came up with the name here. Go ahead, go first. Best defensive defenseman in the league.
There's only one obvious pick. There's one pick, and it has to be this person.
It's not obvious.
Oh, it's not obvious.
No, but I have a different one than you because I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say Jacob Slavin. You have to.
Do you have to?
Who are you gonna? At least who do you pick?
Listen, all I'm gonna say is this: when these awards come up, it's for the year, okay? And Jacob Slavin, great, another underappreciated guy.
He was out part of the season. I know.
Didn't have his best season, but I chose a guy that I feel like has just started getting some praise, and he deserves a hell of a lot more, and that's Gustav Forsling on the Florida Panthers. I think he is such a lockdown guy, and nobody really talked about the Panthers this year because obviously all their superstars were out. Just wait for next year. You're going to see all the big names on Florida, and they're going to be killing people, but then you're going to have Gustav Forsling allowing them to do the things that they do because he is such a great stalwart on the back end, man. I love Gustav Forsling. If there's, like, no joke, if I could name 3 players I wish my team had, he would be one of the 3. I'm not even kidding. Like,
That's a good
love
pick. I do like him as a yeah. I mean, he is very good at that. So that's fair. That's a fair pick.
But I do like the Slavin pick because overall, I would say if you took the past 5 seasons, Jacob Slavin is a beast on the blue line, and he saves that team, and he was a key piece of getting them to the Stanley Cup this year.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just his play in general, even if it has a smaller sample size this past year, just the individual plays that he makes is just really good.
Yeah.
I could have gone biased and gone with another pick, but I didn't.
Yeah, Devon Taves is a good one too. It's a good one. But yeah, now we have the weapon. Because I always considered, like myself on Chell, okay, a guy who could dance the blue line, who could quarterback a power play, but also 5-on-5 could get involved in the rush. This is the best offensive defenseman. You know what? Unlike the NHL, we split the award because there needs to be recognition for both sides of defensemen. Yeah, there's a Selke award, so why not give the best offensive defenseman an award? I'm going to go first on this one. I've been waiting for this one all day. I got the big bomber himself, Big Evan Bouchard, as the weapon because that's what he is for the Edmonton Oilers. I have gained a new appreciation for Evan Bouchard this year that I never had before. Does he give up a lot of pucks? Does he let in a lot of goals? Of course he does. But that's not why the Edmonton Oilers pay him $10.5 million a season. They pay him that money so he can launch pucks at the net and feed beautiful little pizza rolls to Connor McDavid. All right, that's why they have Evan Bouchard. And I'm glad to put him on this, because guess what? A lot of people seem to forget he had 95 points this year. All right. Give me Evan Bouchard.
He led the defenseman in points this year, so yeah. I went with a more conventional pick on this one too, mainly because he's skating around like a ballerina out there, dude.
Whoa.
You know, at the blue line and doing all fancy twists and turns.
Jordan with the analogies for once.
Yeah, dude. I went with Quinn Hughes.
All right. You know, respectable pick.
I mean, again, everybody's probably expecting me to be biased and say Cale Makar didn't have the best season. Not gonna lie. Quinn Hughes, as soon as he got out of Vancouver, different person.
Yep.
He's like lighter, you know, all the weight off his shoulders. He's moving.
Yeah, he's put a heavy weight on both of our shoulders. That's for sure.
That's true.
I gotta deal with this guy.
That's true.
So.
That's true.
Yeah, I like that. I think you could go with you could have gone Werenski on this one, you know, but he won the Norris.
I think Werenski's kind of a middle ground. Like he's
two-way.
He's fits in that category between both, and I think that's great because I'm a big Werenski guy. I called that from the beginning. I said he was going to win the Norris.
Yeah, and I got a lot of respect for Werenski for sticking around in Columbus. I love that he's doing that, man. You know, for how long? Yeah. I don't know, but like, you know, just even like verbalizing that, you know, that's great for him.
Yeah.
Next award, we have the Soldier, which is our version of the Selke. I think there's a lot of names you could have gone with this one. I want to hear what you got.
Yeah, I actually went with kind of an interesting pick. Back to Minnesota, surprisingly, back-to-back Minnesota award wins here. And this is also, it's kind of taking into account playoffs and stuff too, just a little bit. You know, we're flexible with the rules. I said Joel Eriksson Ek.
Yeah, that's a good
because without him, they straight up lost a series because he wasn't playing. Like, I'll say it, like when they lost to Colorado, like he was a huge reason for that.
Yep.
Noticeable difference in the way the team played between the first and second round, and that's why. And he's good. I mean, he's a really, really he's one of the best defensive players on that team, and he's a forward. Yeah. So I mean, like, that was an easy pick in my mind. There are a lot of really good options in the league, though, but he's he's up there.
As much as I hate the Minnesota Wild, I love Eriksson Ek. I've always liked his play, love watching him. I mean, that's another guy that you just wish you had on your team sometimes, you know, like tall, long forward that could stretch the ice, you know, can backtrack too. Good pick. Mine, I picked because he's known for his ability to pass. He's known for his ability to play on a power play, make it efficient. Not enough people talk about his penalty killing ability, and that's Mitch Marner. I think Mitch Marner is a great pick for a Selke. Love the way he plays. A lot of people seem to forget, especially since he's gotten to Vegas. You know, he's great on the penalty kill, just as much as he is on the power play. Total two-way forward, and I think he has brought so much impact to Vegas, just like Eriksson Ek does in Minnesota. You know, Vegas was lacking a little bit on the defensive forward department. You know, they had their bottom depth that could kind of hit and rough you up a little bit.
Yeah.
But Vegas has kind of gotten an all-around game adding Mitch Marner. And guess what? They only pay him $12 million a season. Loved that deal. Love Mitch Marner. Hate Vegas. So, yeah, that's our picks for the Soldier. Moving on here. The Ironclad. The best goalie this season. And we know, once again, with these awards, we know Vasilevsky won the Vezina, and honestly, we could both easily pick Vasilevsky, but there are other guys who deserve some credit here.
You go first on this one. I want to hear yours first. I picked,
you know, it's kind of a, you know, maybe a predictable one, but I just went with the second place Vezina winner, and I didn't even, you know, I didn't recognize game. I didn't realize Ilya Sorokin had a comeback year, and it was a hell of a comeback year. And when I say that, I'm talking 55 games started, 2.79 goals allowed, and a 900 save percentage. I mean, he is a big reason the Islanders just barely missed the playoffs, but they were right on the cusp after being pretty bad for a couple years.
He was not the reason that they missed the playoffs.
He was not, for sure. Yeah. It was the lacking offense.
Yeah, he actually earned his contract this year.
He did. And
First time since he signed his contract, he's actually earned that money.
And that's the thing. A lot of people, like, when he signed that contract, he got hurt immediately after signing it. A lot of people, it's easy as a fan to be, like, doom and gloom, especially New York sports, the pressure that comes with that. You're like, oh, here we go. What a waste of talent, of money. But then, he's a Russian, man. They're built to last. They're like an AK. Like, this guy just came back, and I didn't realize, like, once again, I did not recognize his game. Like, 55 games started and putting up those
numbers.
Didn't
he have the most shutouts this season too?
I'm not sure, but that would be interesting to look at. Yeah.
Hold on. I think he did.
And once again, the Islanders have put a good defense in front of him too for a long time. So props to the defense.
He did. He had 7.
Wow. Yeah. Even more reason I picked him. More reason.
That's crazy. I did not know. Guess who had second most?
Is it Wedgwood?
Second most shutouts? No, bro. Joel Hofer.
Yo, shout out Joel Hofer on the Blues.
That's crazy. That's insane. And then you have like a 15-way tie for. No, it's like 8-way tie for third.
Did I just spoil your Ironclad pick here? Did I just say his name?
You might have. You're pretty good. You're locked in. You're dialed in.
Thank you.
I did go with a bias pick. The biggest Vezina snub this year, Scott Wedgwood.
It's a bold statement. But I mean,
I'll say it because the only reason he didn't get votes for Vezina is because of the amount of games played, because they split the games played kind of evenly between the two goalies. He only had like 3 less games played than most other goalies, like most starter goalies.
And he had a career year, so it's a fair pick. Pick.
Yeah, and it's not like, and him and Blackwood had similar number of starts. It's the other guys that were on the call. What's his name had a couple starts too. That a backup goalie from the AHL got some starts. So, but he led the league in save percentage. He led the league in goals against allowed. The only reason he got snubbed is because of games played, and I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of
locked in, has the vision. He can see it all, dude. It's crazy.
I think he was also maybe like snubbed in what you're talking about right now. He was snubbed a little bit for superstardom. Like Vasilevsky, Sorokin, like that's 2 big goalie names in the league right there. Like, I don't know if like Scott Wedgwood was a big
the other reason I saw is like because he plays for Colorado.
Oh, well, slow down there. Yeah, I think we're getting a little out of ourselves.
Not because of that. It's because it's like well, of course he's going to win a bunch of games, and of course he's going to have the best. He's got Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon playing in front of him. Every other team has players playing in front of him too.
Yeah,
build a better team.
Whoa, we're getting a little bit of Colorado heat going on here.
It was crazy. The other day, it was like, speaking of Colorado heat, it was like 100-something degrees there the other day when it was not here.
Oh my gosh.
It was like 90 here, and it was like over 100 in Colorado. It was crazy.
When do you ever see that?
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next award, the King Award. This is our Coach of the Year. Obviously, the king of the team, king of the castle. I went with a kind of straightforward one, a little bit of a predictable one here. Chose Rod the Bod Brindamore. Won the Stanley Cup. It's been a long-lasting effort for 8 years now of trying to get there, and hey, he finally did it. Killer abs, by the way. Killer abs. Could easily be most handsome coach in the league as well. The king this year is Rod Brindamore. Congratulations. Tons of other coaches we could have picked, but I went with Rod.
Yeah, I went with a very interesting pick, actually. I went with a pick that might not have been predictable for me. I went with someone who had, in my opinion, one of the greatest win streaks in the season, undefeated in the regular season, Mr. John Tortorella.
What? Whoa! This is good. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate that.
Undefeated in the regular season. That's all you gotta say. Don't ask how many games. Just undefeated in the regular season.
John Tortorella getting some flowers from you here.
Yeah, I also really I gained some respect for him for 2 reasons. One, when he defended Bednar and was like, listen, he's a good coach. Like, chill out, guys. Like, get over it. Like, coaches lose. It happens. Every other team lost games in series, so it happens. And then afterwards, he's like, I'm leaving. He's like, didn't stick around. He's like, I'm here for I'm here for 4 games, the playoffs, and I'm out.
Yeah. Dipped. I think he coached 8 games in the regular season.
Was it 8 games?
Something like that.
No, whatever it was. However many it was. Whatever. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
I also think he had an overtime loss or 2. Something like that. Just
Doesn't
the
matter.
effort he put in,
Yeah.
bringing them all the way to the cup. I don't hate
Fine.
that pick.
No regulation losses in the regular season.
I don't hate it. I don't hate that pick. I mean, hey, brought them from out of the playoffs to into the playoffs and then all the way to the Stanley Cup. You can't deny that. I mean, that is crazy work by Torts right there. So, next award, we're giving a little homage to our dogs here, our pups that are always in the podcast. Well, mine you've never seen, but you hear her, that's for sure. The first one is the Sweet as Honey Award in honor of my girl Honey, because she's the sweetest little girl in the world. And this is the nicest guy in the league. A guy who does a lot outside of the rink, who, provides a lot for his community, and is just an overall good guy, okay? And there's a lot of people that you could name for this one. Did a little research, and hey, just happened to be one of my favorite players popped up. My boy Matt Duchene wins my Sweet as Honey award. I know you're not the biggest fan of Mr. Duchene, but what a hell of a guy,
My beef with him is hockey related.
On the ice.
Not personal.
Yeah. Matt Duchene, big Christian. I'm a Christian. I love that automatically. But does a lot for kids with cancer.
Big music guy, too.
Big country music guy. Obviously, that makes me sound biased. But yeah, he's got the Matt Duchene Foundation. Does a lot for kids with cancer.
Yeah, they raised a bunch of money this year. I remember
they
that.
do.
I remember seeing
he does every year. And this is before he got to Dallas. But he's been really helping the Dallas area now that he plays for the Stars. You just love to see it. I'm from Austin, but Dallas has a special place in my heart. And anybody who does something for the great state of Texas, earns my respect. And kids with cancer, Sweet as Honey, Matt Duchene.
Yeah. Actually, my pick also happens to be one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player. And also, it's related to the name in a way. I went with Devon Toews because outside of the league, him and his wife train service dogs.
Gotta love it.
And have a help an organization that trains service dogs, bro.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love that.
Love that. Big animal lovers here.
Oh yeah.
Especially service dogs. That's awesome. Using your money for something good. These guys, if you're an athlete, use your money for a little something good. It doesn't have to be all your money, but do a little service.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people, that could qualify for this award. It's just
for sure.
It's just, just highlighting a few.
Yeah.
But there's
of course we had to pick some of our,
guys.
Favorite players here, but nothing wrong with that. It's showing the effort that they provide off the ice. Love that award. That might be my favorite award. Honestly, that might be my favorite one because that's what really matters in this world right there. Doing something good for other people. The next gave it away there. The next award, big one for us, the Neck Award. The craziest neck in the league. And if you know us, if you know the TikTok, if you know the Instagram,
the call.
Yeah, we notice players' necks a lot. I mean, I didn't realize how many players have a crazy ass neck. All right. And I think this one's a unanimous decision. It's nobody else but Tyler Myers. Craziest neck I've ever seen in my life.
I will say, it is unanimous. I also picked Tyler Myers.
I mean, guys, this neck, it's a tree trunk. This thing is crazy.
Dude, it looks like his leg is his neck. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. One of our most viral videos ever is when I broke the news of Dallas trading for Tyler Myers. Of course, I called out his neck within the first millisecond of the video.
Again, blocking the picture with your head, but
I moved out of the way. I mean, it didn't even matter that I was blocking it. The neck was protruding out of the sides of my face. So, Tyler Myers, congratulations, fella. You have the biggest neck, craziest neck in the league. I agree with you. It looks like a leg. It's nuts. It's
crazy.
Nuts. Next award we have is the Strongest Sage Award. Okay, shout out to our girl Sage, Jordan's dog. You see her pretty much every episode on that bed. Yeah. Our podcast mascot. We love Sage around here. This is the toughest player in the league. You could go a lot of different directions this one, and this one tends to change, I figure. I think every year it will change because it could vary from a guy who hits a lot, a guy who fights a lot. It could be a guy who came back from an injury, tough as nails, played through an injury, know. But I went with a serial killer, serial hitter, Didn't get as much recognition. He had the second most hits in the league this year after last year breaking the record for most hits in a season. That's Kiefer Sherwood. Love Kiefer Sherwood. He is a ground and pound kind of guy in this league. Good addition to the Sharks over there. I can't wait to see what he does a full season. Kiefer Sherwood, a small amount of time with Colorado. But
That's a good pick. He does. For some reason, it blows my mind that he has like the most, like, it's consistently
Record.
has some of the most hits. Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yep, with Vancouver as well.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a pretty solid pick. I went with a kind of a different pick. I went with Matthew Olivier.
Yeah.
Dude is a fighting and hitting machine. Dude
Yeah.
is just scary to play against.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would absolutely kill me if I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
another good long-time Columbus guy, signed that big extension, I think 6 years with Columbus.
mhm.
Yeah, what a good player to have, a guy that will stand up for your captain. And I'm intrigued to see who's the next captain. It's got to be Werenski, right?
I don't know. I mean,
Fantilli?
no,
Werenski,
I don't think
Fantilli?
so. No,
I think Werenski.
probably Werenski. Yeah, I mean,
If he's there for even 3 or 4 more
now
years.
that he's kind of committed and said like, hey, I'm not leaving the team. I'm not requesting out of the team. Like maybe that could solidify. Like, yeah,
That'd be a good one right there. Now it's time for our surprise awards. We've gotten through all of the main ones. Those are going to be the ones that we hit you with every year come the off season. But we got some surprise ones. I'm going to let you go ahead and take flight here with your surprise awards. Put me on the spot.
Okay.
Tell me yours. I'll come up with mine.
Mine is my first one is I think kind of interesting. It's because it's an award, but it's also kind of like it's like one of those awards you give somebody for doing bad in a way, like like they kind of like poking him a little bit.
Okay.
This one's called the Slug, and it is supposed to be for who is like the laziest or just like like low effort player, right?
Love it.
Not necessarily like guys who are like on the bottom line that are just like put in to like fill slots and like moments and stuff like that when the team is short.
But a low effort player.
But like someone who's like, really, dude, like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
like I know, like you're better than this, like. So in keeping with that, I went with early 2025-2026 season JT Miller.
Whoa! I love that. That's the perfect pick.
Looked like he was sleeping half the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gotta love it when your captain just watches players skate past him and does nothing.
Yeah, JT Miller is a perfect pick for this one, and I wish I could just steal that pick. I'm on the spot. I'm kind of blanking right now. I don't know.
It's hard, dude. It's kind of hard to come up with some of these on the spot.
I wish I could have, like, this is one, mine I feel like are kind of easy. Maybe one of mine take a little bit to think about. I wish I could have thought about this one. That is a perfect pick for that right
You can
there.
steal it. You can agree. I mean, that's okay.
I mean, I would agree. I kind of want to come up with one, just to...
Give it a minute. Give it a few minutes. Give it a few minutes. Go with one of yours and yeah.
We'll go with mine.
This is the hardest one. These on the spot ones, because as soon as you ask the question, your mind just goes blank. You're like, I don't even what's the NHL? Who are players?
Yeah, it's rough.
Every time.
Rough. But we're gonna go with one of mine here. Mine's a little bit easier to come up with. I have the Beer Leaguer Award. All right. Yeah, the Beer League. Neither of us have played hockey, but, the Beer League, a couple fellas get together, have a few cold ones after the game. And this one is reminiscent of who is the number one player you'd love to just sit down and grab a cold one with. All right. I went with an obvious pick here, a player that appreciates a cold one just as much as I do on the weekends, and that's Ovi. I would love to sit down. I saw, for those who didn't see...
You have a video?
There's a video that went viral recently of a restaurant that Ovi and his wife go to every single Wednesday, by the way. And it started with one of his fans. It's in Russia. One of his fans met him there, bought him a beer. Ovi appreciated it. The crowd grew in size, and I had about 50 plus people waiting for him to buy him a beer. And they all just drank. What a good guy, man. He stood outside, signed autographs, took pictures, and just drank a couple cold ones with the fans. Said, yeah, wife, you can wait for our date. I'm having some beers with my fans in the motherland. Love Ovi, man.
Yeah, I got kind of a funny pick for this one.
Okay.
Mostly because it would just be hilarious and so awkward and just funny in general. Probably wouldn't even order a beer. You'd order like a water. Same, bro. I mean, like, I don't like beer, but like,
yeah.
I'm going to get flamed for that too.
Just,
for saying I don't like beer.
Yeah, Jordan,
Bro,
just a nice drink.
I went with our boy, the Asian sensation, Jason Robertson.
That's a
yes.
lame pick.
What?
I would never get a beer with Jason Robertson.
Like, I feel like we would be chill.
He'd make me pay for it with how much money he's asking for,
like,
dude.
Hey guys, actually, maybe I'll get a Truly with my boy Mikko Rantanen.
Whoa, I love that. Miss him on the Truly ads, bro. I feel like I'm gonna be honest with you. I would also not get a beer with Mikko Rantanen. He's kind of scary. Like, I feel like he's like locked in, dude. I don't know.
He posts pictures of his dog on Instagram, dude.
That's true. Yeah, his little weenie dog.
Yeah.
Forget the name, but yeah, cute dog. But yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind the Jason Robertson pick. I feel like he would be he's like a chill vibe guy.
It's for the meme. It's for the meme. Remember when he got
Yeah.
like upset about them playing soccer and like not passing to him or something like that or whatever?
True. Yeah, he does just want to be included. He does want to be included. I do have my pick.
Okay.
For your award. What was it? The Slug?
The Slug.
My pick for the Slug. It's a little close to home. I've been saying it all season. I got Rope Hintz as the Slug.
Honestly, that's a good pick.
A guy who could be an X factor for the Dallas Stars. Just does a whole lot of nothing most of the time, okay? Like,
yeah.
It honestly used to be one of my favorite players on the team because for years he was a great, like putting up 70+ point seasons. Bro does a bunch of nothing the past like 2 years, dude. I don't know what happened to him. Injuries, whatever. You're a slug. You know, that's what we're calling. I like that award. I like that.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and hit me with your next one?
All right. This one, the name needs some workshopping, but this one is the Hard to Look At award.
Oof. Ugliest fella in the league?
No, actually. This is more just not so much about the players. This is the worst jersey of the year.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. I as soon as I came up with it, and actually this jersey inspired this award, and I had it locked from the second I thought of it.
Okay.
It was the Tampa Stadium Series jersey.
That was a rough look. Rough look for Tampa.
I don't care how much people say they like it. The only reason they like it is because of the light blue color, and they are thinking like it would look so much better if it looked like this, but it doesn't look like that. It looks like it does, and it looks bad.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't really pick another one.
It's hard. It is actually hard to look at.
That one takes the cake, man. I think we're just gonna have to do another unanimous there.
That, or it's not like a one-off like jersey. The Capitals like home jersey, just the Capital. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. That's an honorable mention. That's kind of a runner-up.
Honestly, not gonna lie, you could maybe just throw Dallas's home jersey on there.
It's not that bad though. It's not bad.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking. I have one that I have just despised forever, and I'm glad they moved off of it, but for some reason they wore it a couple times this year, and that's the Blues' previous home jerseys before they moved on to these new ones. With the weird darker blue shoulder pad going on. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, that was certified ugly jersey. But yeah, that Tampa Stadium Series.
The Bruins was pretty good. Like it was, I mean, it's like, but the Tampa one.
You can do so much with like a storm type
and
of
theme, the embossed like skull on the back.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It was so weird. It was just
the whole
not
pirate
good.
thing they try to push sometimes is a little cringe. Yeah, it's a little cringe. Yeah, just let the Buccaneers stay in your lane. Let the other team do it. But I like that one. Before I give you my next one, let's do a best jersey award. Yeah, just throw one out there. There's a lot. You can even be biased with it if you want, but I got a couple that I could think of.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite jersey is the one right above me here, the Avs division rivalry jersey. But the best jersey this season, and honestly, maybe one of the best jerseys they've ever had, and is the blackout Chicago Blackhawks one that they have. Such a good jersey.
Love it.
So good.
Yeah. So happy they brought that one back.
I really want one. Like I have a old Chicago jersey.
It would be a cold one, a sick one to have. A blackout Chris Chelios jersey. I might buy one of those myself. Shout out my boy Josh. Big Blackhawks fan, Josh. If you're listening to this, shout out you. I got another blackout jersey that takes number one. A lot of people forgot about it. When the Kings brought in that slick black with the silver crown on it, when they wore those silver helmets, man, I remember when they broke that out on the first game of the season, dude. I was like, oh my gosh.
When they surprised it, too.
Yeah, love the surprise reveal. I think that's what the Islanders should do. Well, they can't because they're going to announce when the fan, But they shouldn't tell people when they're going to wear it for the first time. They should just come out in it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That would be sick.
But love that. Good job with that award, man. Good job with that. We got my last one and the last one for the episode. I have the What's the Hype award. The most overrated player in the league. Or one of, but it's the award, so we might as well do most. I have mine. I'm going to throw it out there while you think. I mean, you could choose a lot here. And I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one. I don't really care, okay? Jack Hughes is one of the most overrated players in the NHL. All right, I said it. I said I'm sick and tired of, once again, what's the hype? We know what he's capable of, okay? And God bless him. Because when he does play like that, I mean, what, he had like a 94-point season like 4 years ago or something? What's he done since then? Sit on the couch? He just gets hurt. He gets hurt
lose fights to steak knives.
Yeah, he gets hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Stupid injuries like that.
Yeah. Hey, he did win the gold for the U.S.
Okay.
But that's not an NHL. That's not
an Olympic player, incredible. We'll always be grateful for what you did for the great U.S. of A. I'm not downplaying that, but this is about the NHL season.
They need to get him out of New Jersey.
I don't even know if a change of scenery would help. He is a frail body. Like, he needs to beef up. He needs to bulk up. I know that takes away from his game because he relies on his speed a lot. But New Jersey just, like, mid most of the time. You know, like, they're supposed to be building this great team, and he was supposed to be the cornerstone. Can't really build a great team if your cornerstone's out all the time. So, a little bit of Jack Hughes hate right there. I'm going to get flamed on TikTok. I'm already prepared for it. Ready to defend my pick there in the comments. But, yeah, I'm picking Jack Hughes.
Yeah, that's not a terrible pick. Mine is kind of, I have a name, and it's kind of more so just like overhyped in the sense of, like, everybody expected more this season specifically, and it just didn't happen, and it's quite the opposite. And it just proves Mitch Marner was not the problem with Toronto. Mr. Nylander, overhyped player.
I'm going to solemnly disagree.
I don't care.
I think, and is this, okay.
Bro went on to put up one of his worst seasons after getting Marner out of there.
That's fair, but I still think he's a
little
good
diva.
Player. He is, okay.
Not saying he's bad. I said he's overhyped.
Okay. That's fair. And that's the same thing with Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
So, watch, we're going to post these clips and people are going to lose their mind.
As soon as he doesn't have Mitch Marner to pass him the puck anymore, falls off. Without being together, they almost tied in points. And
wow.
And Mitch Marner is playing for a different team he's playing for two different teams this season and relearning chemistry and all that stuff. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a little overhyped.
I understand where you're coming from with that one. He's supposed to be like a superstar player in the league and just a little below the cusp, little below that area.
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to be a McDavid McKinnon type. He's just a little under that,
Yeah. Yep.
A little overhyped. Toronto fans hype him up quite a bit, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's not the face of that franchise. My boy AM34 is the face of that franchise. But yeah, I mean, I like the pick. I love the awards. I love all of our picks. One of my favorite episodes of the off season for sure. Glad we busted it out for y'all. This one is so fun. Can't wait for y'all to listen and enjoy. But yeah, that covers all the bases here for today. Thank you for tuning in. Link in the description below for all the socials. Check them out. Send them to all your friends. Same with this episode. And yeah, more off season content coming soon.
Yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for more. See ya.